Welcome to Off the Court as we head into round 6. And joining me today, one of my favourite netballers, because we just gossip and chat a lot about the sport, is Manchester Thunder's defender Josie Huckle. Welcome, Josie.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Big game ahead, isn't it?
Yeah, big game. I think obviously we had a big game at the start of the season, but it's going to be our first big, obviously top of the table clash. Looking forward to kind of seeing what we can do against Pulse.
Well, look, we'll come to that in a moment. But you talk about the start to the season, 4 from 5. So you're sitting pretty. You're second in the league. Mm-hmm. Only that first loss to Loughborough Lightning. But it was probably a surprising loss. Only 40 goals on the board for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's aware of kind of how we started our season. We lost 40% of our signed 10, obviously losing.
Welcome to our team.
Yes. Obviously Nat with her gorgeous pregnancy, and then obviously losing Nick to her arm, and then Lo and Paige as well. It wasn't the team that we wanted to have on the court, but actually I think the girls who played and stepped up did a good job. I think we were in it until that third quarter. We were kind of only down by maybe 4 or 5 going into that fourth quarter, and it just blew out ahead of us, and we just couldn't nail our attack. We couldn't kind of link together. We didn't turn enough ball over. But I think when we play in the end, I'm looking forward to seeing what that scoreline looks like.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some real interesting results this season. So, Jose, talk to me then about the youngsters coming through, because as you've alluded to, you've had a lot of injuries, a lot of change, but there's just something so special about the Thunder youth system. And you've come through a Mavericks pathway. You were with me at Storm, you were Wasps. What's different? Like, what do they do? I
mean, Thunder Pathway is renowned for having and producing some incredible athletes. Like, you look at the likes of, we've got currently Anya Williams, Shannon Malik, like absolutely killing it on this like Super League scene. I think the integration, when I first came to Thunder, and when we were obviously before the NSL 2.0, the amount of integration there is between the NSL athletes and the pathway and the 21s, the 19s, 17s is incredible. They're all in that environment. They're all expected to step up. There isn't any kind of, just because you're 17, there's no leeway there. It doesn't mean you're a kid. You're stepping up on court. Like Emma Rayner, for example, when she signed, obviously, you may not have been in the position she is right now. Like, she was obviously we had Nat Metcalf, Lois Pearson. Emma might not have been a starting player, but she stepped up, and obviously she's come from that pathway. And just that ability for players to go, actually, do you know what? I fully believe in myself and I back myself. They're doing some brilliant stuff. There's
a bit of northern mentality in that, though, isn't there? Like, I mean, it is different.
Yeah, I mean, when I went my first session, I don't think I felt I was hit by a bus. Like, the northern grit is a serious thing at Thunder. Like, there's no leeway. Like, you don't, just because you're young, just because you're new, you don't get treated any differently. You're getting in, you're getting involved, you're stuck in. You've got to work blooming hard.
Oh, I love it. Well, listen, you debuted in 2011. I've worked with you in quite a few teams, and it's fair to say you took your time in building to that starting position. I kind of feel these days that we get very excited about the youth coming through, which I love, but we almost kind of miss that group that take their time to build and develop. And I sometimes feel like players are not wanting to spend that time on the bench. How did you find that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I played Mavs, then Storm, then Wasps, and I was never really a starting 7 player. And I think, I don't sound like I'm quite big-headed, but it takes a certain person to be a team player. And I think you've got to be okay with sitting on the bench. You've got to be okay with just backing your teammates. You've got to be okay getting on for half a game for a quarter. And it sucks. Like, it massively sucks. And I know now that I'm definitely reaping the rewards of having that time, of taking my time. And it is hard to look at the long game and actually, because the fun stuff is the game, like the fun stuff's playing it, but actually being part of a team, and whether you're on court or not, you're still winning a title together. And I know that is difficult to kind of look at, but it's that team environment. It's that kind of that culture. And I think that's something that Thunder have beautifully, is that massive culture they've got, and about it's a team. It's not always just about the 7 on the court, because it is a whole team effort.
I think there's 2 things for that on me. I can firmly say you were a team player. Josie was the loudest person on the bench ever. I used to move her away from me when I was coaching in a positive way. But there's also that element that if you're in a successful team, you're likely to be stacked, right? So it's kind of that toss-up of what you want to do. Do you want to be a starting player and perhaps be not as successful, or do you want to be in teams like you alluded to that keep winning?
Yeah, massively. I mean, you look at the likes of Pulse, the likes of Loughborough, the likes of Thunder, like they've pretty much kept a lot of their roster. Like, when we moved into NSL 2.0, they've kept like their big names, and they've brought in even bigger names. But actually, you want to play. It's hard because obviously you want to get on the court and you want to play at that. And I think hopefully moving forward, this new NSL will spread the players around, and I think actually hopefully as we kind of lead towards more professionalisation and everything else that comes with it. But I think Karen Gray gives you a call and you say yes, whatever she's offering, you say absolutely yes please.
Talking of big names then, you talk about the rosters at other teams. Nicola Smith, what a pickup. No one really saw that coming. She's finally back. She had that wrist injury that she picked up in the international season. I mean, let's not just get away from the fact that's going to be a big circle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm little in this unit. Like, it's really exciting.
And trust me, you're not.
Yeah, 6'2". I don't think I'd ever say I'd be a short person. Yeah, like having Nick's amazing. Like I think she's like 6'4". She's and a completely different style of defender as well. Like Elia is man on, dogged, rugged. She is a pure northern girl. Whereas obviously Nick is much more. She's definitely like more of a kind of thinking player, and you can look at obviously, and with her arms band she can definitely look at forward being off the body slightly more and just getting a hand in and causing all sorts of chaos, and it's really exciting having her in the team.
Touching on Elia then, I think Thunder have always had those kind of unsung heroes, you know, your Emma Dovies and your Kerry Armand. So everyone knows is really good and is completely solid through Super League. Elia seems another one. She just goes about her business and just wins so much ball. How much are you enjoying playing with her?
I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, she's a completely different player to kind of what like Nick is, and it's so good having two different options in there. And obviously Ella and I have had a whole pre-season together. Unfortunately with Nick, with her wrist injury, and obviously her being South African, she didn't come over till slightly later. But we've had a lot of time together, and she can play across all three positions. Like, she's obviously played a bit of goalkeeper last year, playing more goalie and wingedy this year, but she is just so adaptable. She's so tenacious. She is an absolute do or die for your team, and I love that about her. Well,
it kind of transitions through the whole team. The culture there at Thunder's good. I think that's why it leads to success, right? It goes hand in hand. You know how passionate I am about culture. Taylor McKevitt and Elmarie van der Beer in the pre-season, they had a little filming episode together talking about celebs they wanted in the group. Now, Taylor wanted Harry Styles just because she liked him. She moved on to Simone Biles, which I was all down for. Mm-hmm. But Elmarie was slightly different. We had Michelle McCarthy, just for fun.
Yeah.
We had, oh God, who else did we have in there? Tom Cruise. Tom
Excellent.
Cruise.
Yeah,
so,
good choice.
Yeah. I mean, just showing their personalities.
Yeah, I mean, she's got such a game face, but she is the most ridiculous person I've ever met in my entire life. She is so silly and so funny and so sassy, and she's an absolute great character having it. And obviously Tay, we know, is an absolute on the court, she's another dogged demon of a player, but actually off the court she's another silly one. She's 27, but I still think she acts like she's about 15.
She doesn't look 27.
No. And I love that about her. Like, she's got so much energy and kind of like joie de vivre. Like, she's an absolute like bunny rabbit when like all around the court.
Yeah, she's incredible. I've worked with you a lot. I used to love it when you'd come in your wacky leggings, Joe. So we used to have a thing, Sorry Storm in particular as well, that you could basically wear what you wanted. And you used to have the most outrageous leggings in the world. Does that still happen?
I mean, in my personal life, probably yes, but I think I've reined myself in a little bit more. I'm trying to be a lot cooler now. I'm not sure those leggings they're not, like, they're more like these colours are not actually as...
Hang on, is that because Greggy doesn't let you?
Probably yes. I think that actually there's definitely more of a stricter rule around kit, and we're always in our own kit. And I think even like grey shorts aren't allowed, like, and Karen's, there's no booty shorts allowed, at least 2 inches above, like below the butt cheeks. You can't be showing anything like that. Yeah, there are rules at Manchester, and you all follow them.
So you're saying I wasn't strict enough?
You had other strengths, Kate. There were other strengths that you had.
I love this. Listen, I'm going to ask you some questions from social, because we put it out there and we had loads of responses. So first one, always our number one, Wasps. How special was that time?
It was to be able to start a franchise and to kind of be able to, obviously when I moved to Storm, I came because you were there without wanting to tell you how big your head is going to be. And then obviously when you asked me to move to Wasps, it was an absolute no-brainer. I mean, to be able to help create a franchise, to put a stamp playing in the Midlands, like, it was an absolute, and for me as well, kind of coming from that area, it was a joy to be part of that team and to see it kind of grow and develop and have the support of the rugby and kind of like see what that was. It was just, it was a really special time. And in my head, I thought I was going to play for Wasps forever. I thought I'd never leave. And obviously, unfortunately, it went down. And I was very lucky to get, when Karen slid into my DMs to ask me to come to Thunder. But yeah, Wasps is always going to hold a really special place in my heart.
You kind of gave me goosebumps. It was good, wasn't it? It was a fairy tale as well.
Yeah,
I always
absolutely.
speak about that. And I think that was
first year as well.
Well, that first time. And I remember signing players, like you lot were all coming from Storm, but I remember getting Nat Metcalf and she was umming and ahhing, and I was like, right, get her down to the Rico.
Yes.
And he used to take you all down to the changing rooms just to show you. It's like, oh my goodness.
This is what it could be.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Right, next one. Which goal shooter was harder to train against? Van der Beer or Lanise Potgieter?
Oh God, they're both such totally different players. I mean,
Which one did you like to give a few more digs to?
I'm going to say Elle now because she keeps punching me at the moment, and I'm not sure why she keeps thumping me on the, whenever I go to training, just thumps me on the arm, and I don't know if it's like a little sister thing or what's going on, but she keeps, and I don't know if I'm annoyed her, I don't know what I've done, but yeah, so like Lenny was an absolute dream to have, and she's such a strong player, and I'm so glad to see she's obviously back playing now again in Australia, but yeah, I think Elle's got obviously the height and the hold, and actually that's unstoppable sometimes.
Final question from socials then, and we have moved into a pro era, but it's not quite there yet. So you're still teaching, you're still training. You teach down in
Bedford.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna give it away in case she's in the Midlands area, sort of. And then you're travelling up north. I mean, how are you fitting all that in?
I'm very lucky that the school I work at are incredibly supportive. Like I wouldn't be able to do anything without kind of the help of my department and obviously the school in general. The train lines are an absolute godsend. It's like an hour and a half from Milton Keynes, so that's the train I get.
Do you
onto.
work or do you Netflix and chill?
Well, it depends. Sometimes I nap. That's most of my thing. Yeah,
you nap.
I normally nap on a Tuesday evening, and I work on a Wednesday morning when I come back.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm very lucky to have a flexible schedule at my work. And I'm just a bit of a netball nerd. Like, I love it. I just love, I love netball so much. And I just want to play. If my body let me, I'd play forever. But yeah, I will do. And I like, again, when Karen asks you, you don't say no, you make it work. And my partner's really supportive as well. So yeah, I'm very lucky.
Let's look ahead then, because it is the big one. And I know it's early, but it's still 1v2. It's London Pulse. They're unbeaten. I mean, they're flying at the minute. I think there's only been one game where they've scored under 70, and even that was a 68er. I mean, you've got a big challenge ahead, but I'm guessing one you're absolutely relishing.
Absolutely. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, our game, when we played them in the Super Cup, we think we only lost by one. Like, we were up that first half.
That was a crazy day.
Yeah, wild madness. Like, felt a bit like a washing machine kind of. And obviously you can't take anything from that. But yeah, we matched them quite evenly in that game. Actually, I think we started really well against them. We've had some really good starts in our season so far, and I think actually for us it's nailing that first quarter and then pushing on from there. And obviously we know that Nicole and Liv are shooting both those super shots, and actually they've got a double threat there, which is exciting. Obviously Sophie Kelly, we know from Bath days that's her vibe, that's her position that she likes to play into. So they've got some big super shot shooters, but also Fumi and Hallie, like England defenders, you kind of got to be able to play them. But I know Karen's got some tricks up her sleeve, and hopefully we'll be able to give everyone a good game to watch and swing it in our favour. That's what I'd like.
Is that what you'd like? I mean, there'll be lots of people supporting at home, I'm sure. Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because you have that top of the table, and like, Pulse are clear favourites at the minute, and rightly so. But I think you will have a lot of support at home for that Pulse game. It's going to be a cracking one. Defensively, you just touched on Fumi and Hallie, but Nick Smith, Josie Huckle isn't a bad combination either.
Absolutely not. I mean, I think between us, we cover if we stood side by side with our arms out, I think we'd cover the entire third. We've got a big rangy defence in there, and actually knowing the super shot changes how you defend, and obviously knowing that you need to cover a lot more of the circle, having two big players in there can't be a bad thing in terms of shutting those swings and getting ourselves round.
Let's go on then. Final question. 4 titles for you, 4 titles for Manchester Thunder. Is this the year, Josie Huckle?
I mean, I would absolutely love it to. In my head, my first year at Thunder, I got a bronze. Second year, I got a silver. Third year, I feel like it's going to have to be gold.
You've heard it here first. It's written. It's written in the, I believe in all that journey.
I said it down to the world.
I prayed a lot for gold medals at England. I never got one. Just not to put a dampener on it.
Oh, sorry. We're praying now.
Negative Nancy. She's gone. Well, listen, you can catch Josie in action against Pulse on Friday night. And then it's the Super Saturday this weekend. We've got 3 games back-to-back, 5 and 6 and 7. Mavs versus Loughborough. They kick it off, and that's going to be a tasty game, I reckon. Then we've got Panthers versus Forest. Great to see Gabby Sinclair back. And then Dragons Rhinos to finish us off on Saturday. So make sure you check out all the action. Thanks, Josie.
Thank you.